Hey guys, welcome to Harvesting Strength. This is Tyler Alton. What we're going to talk about today is triple extension. So for the power athletes, especially strongman, you have to be able to extend your hips and catch the weight. Some clips I'll talk about in a minute, but he's going to showcase to us how to grow and develop into being a better power cleaner and how that could affect your performance otherwise. So let's check it out and see what he's going to do.
All right, so right here we're looking at power clean cues. So he's kind of working it without weight, so it's going to make it a little tough on him. But right here, what we're seeing at the bottom is we're seeing his shoulders are a little bit behind the bar, so we need to get a little bit more of a lean on it. And what I mean is this right here, where he's a little bit more forward, has more of an athletic stance. We want to incorporate the hinge motion, but we're going to go from a hinge and catch the load, accept it, and move on. So the biggest thing about all this in the end is extending, triple extension at the hips, knees, and ankles. See how his heels are off the ground? We're wanting to achieve that. And we're going to talk about the progression that gets you to that point. So the first part of the progression is RDLs, Romanian deadlifts. This right here is going to give you the strength you need to start off your lift, and it's just the foundation of it all. See the hinge right here? See how his shoulders are, well, they're a little bit more forward of the bar, but you want to have those shoulders with the bar. But yeah, we just want to work the hinge motion, get you strength, and to move into a more explosive movement like this right here. So the power shrug, you're going to go upward, you're going to triple extend, and you're just shrugging your shoulders. You're trying to get that first aspect of the power clean going. Difference between the RDL and this is the explosiveness. RDL is more strength. This is more about explosiveness. Now here at the end, his elbows were going too high. He was starting to mimic the high pull. So the high pull right here, now we're getting ready for the catching motion. So the high pull is going to make the bar go with a longer distance to generate more power and explosion. And once we've added that finesse at the end where we catch it, now everything comes together. So we're triple extending, getting the elbows up, and just practicing and evolving our movement. So flip clean, I'm not sure if people share this terminology, but it might not necessarily be the fourth progression, but I like the flip clean because it's kind of warming you up and getting you ready for the catching motion. Some people like the rack clean because it takes a little bit of the load off of having to get the weight started, and they can just practice this motion of catching. But when we put it all together, we start to see the power clean occur. So I love the power clean because with the power clean, you're starting off in an athletic position, you're getting triple extension, and you're accepting the load. And then, for some sports like, sprinting, you have to accept the load to redirect it. Rebounding a basketball, in that sport, you have to kind of squat down, come up, and accept the load and redirect your body. Power clean just really translates and transfers to all sports. So again, just to kind of review things, the power clean is essential for triple extension, accepting the load, and becoming more athletic. It has all those components. So let's say you're bad at power clean. Let's just say that you need help beyond the progression. Let's start off with fixing your clean by working front squats. You want to work the clean grip. Again, if I'm using different terms than you are, in the end, we're still talking about the same things. But we want to do front squats, not crossing our arms. We're working this grip. And we want to be able to drop the hips and keep our feet flat. That's why I kind of zoomed in previously. So we're going to keep our elbows forward. We're going to drop our hips, okay? And we're going to try to displace the weight to where our hips go back and just practice this movement and become more athletic, really work our hips in that regard. So now we're talking about the explosive tendencies of the power clean. We're talking about getting that hinge, extending at the knees, hips, and feet, and then accepting the load and catching ourselves. He kind of hesitated on that one. We're kind of joking for a minute, but what we're trying to talk about is just landing more appropriately and athletically. So right here, you'll see how he kind of lands with the stiff legs. That's not really landing athletically that would transfer to sports. You're not going to just jump and then land with stiff legs. You want to actually come down and hold that hinge position. Helps you accept the load, and then you're in a position to redirect it for later. Kind of like when you clean a log, you have to accept the load and get ready to redirect that power for later. So another way to do this is to do box jumps. With the box jumps, you're extending, and then you're landing in that quarter squat squat position to accept the load. Right here, we kind of see that hinge, not as much as we want, but you still kind of understand the whole concept of it. And then in the end, we're going to bound. I think with bounding, you have to jump higher, so you extend harder, and then you have to land very well with a lot of finesse. So you're landing on your feet from a high distance, being elevated. So I really do think that this transfers a lot to the power clean. And again, to review what's happening, hinge, triple extension, and then having to load, accept the load in an athletic position really transfers over. And then in the end, it was kind of an interesting bit, but we triple extended, landed with finesse, and, you know, did a little magic trick at the end and put it all together. All right, guys, so if you want more information, check it out at harvestingstrength.com. Let's have a conversation. Feel free to set up a consultation, and let's go from here and get better. Thanks, guys.